Pay for me books.
You'll be looking for some mental case in town then.
I would swim.
Right, how'd you come?
No, I didn't. You're late as it is.
Oh, that's all we need.
Passing by Sinead, hop in. I'll give you a lift.
Why? Why don't we all go out back and...
The story begins in 1974, in a quiet little town in Northern Ireland. Two men from a mafia gang stroll into a local pub, unaware that danger is already waiting for them. Nearby, a notorious woman named Doran, her brother Curtis, and their allies Seamus and Kay are lurking with a deadly plan. Seamus and Conan quietly place a bomb near the bar and casually walk away. But then Doran notices a group of children playing dangerously close to the rigged car. Panicked, she shouts for them to move, but it's too late. The bomb explodes, wiping out the mafia men along with the innocent kids in a devastating blast. In the chaos, Doran, Curtis, Conan, and Seamus flee the scene in a getaway car. We are then introduced to our main character, Finbar. He's busy at a shooting practice session, showing off his marksmanship alongside Sheriff Vincent, who has a reputation as an excellent shooter. But Finbar steals the spotlight, impressing everyone and even winning a bet. Afterward, the two head back to Finbar's home, where they chat about the town's growing crime problem, which is spiraling out of control. Vincent hints that soon they'll need stronger measures to handle it. That evening, Finbar visits a lively bar for some drinks, holding a photograph with a man's face circled. The announcer calls up a well-known singer, Bart, to perform, and he captivates the crowd. It's then revealed that the circled face in Finbar's photo belongs to Bart. Later, Finbar drives to a secluded spot in the woods. He pops open his car trunk, revealing Bart tied up and holding a shotgun. Taking him to a hillside, Finbar hands him a shovel and orders him to dig. Bart soon realizes he's standing in a graveyard filled with Finbar's past victims. Terrified, Bart asks how many people Finbar has killed, but Finbar refuses to answer. In a final, desperate conversation, Bart opens up about his troubled past. Once a reckless hothead, he claims to have changed. Finbar listens thoughtfully, but in the end, he forces Bart into the grave, buries him alive, and plants a tree over the site as a haunting reminder. At this point, it's clear, Finbar is a professional hitman, carrying out contract killings for cash. Soon after, Finbar heads to his handler Robert's house. Robert's wife, Josie, warmly greets him and offers to make his favorite meal. A younger recruit, Kevin, casually helps himself to some bread from Josie's basket, which irritates Finbar, showing his disdain for the younger man's impatience. Finbar tells Robert the job is done, and while they talk, he notices Kevin driving off. Unexpectedly, Finbar suggests Robert start giving future assignments to Kevin. Opening up, Finbar confesses that ever since losing his wife, he's wanted to leave behind the killing and start a new life. His wife always wished for him to live in peace and do something meaningful. Shocked, Robert asks what he plans to do, and Finbar replies that he wants to farm, grow crops, and live quietly. Respecting his decision, Robert pays him for the job and wishes him luck. The next day, Finbar gets started on his new farming life. He clears land, buys seeds in town, and even visits his kind neighbor Rita, who invites him over for dinner. She's supportive of his new path and teases him about his cooking, comparing it to his late wife's. Later, he meets a young girl named Moya fishing by a bridge. She struggles with her nylon line, so Finbar offers her his handkerchief. She admits she's fishing to put food on the table, but when she accidentally drops her lunchbox into the water, Finbar feels guilty. He also notices scars on her neck, but Moya quickly hides them and runs off. Finbar later finds her mother, Chnade, working at a bar. He explains about the lost lunchbox and even takes the blame for it. When he walks Moya home, they run into her uncle, Curtis, one of the men behind the bombing. Finbar senses his hostility right away. Determined to help, Finbar later brings Moya's family a basket of food. The next day, he spots Moya frightened, holding a bullet. When he asks her about it, she stays silent. Curtis then shows up, causing Moya to retreat inside. Curtis slyly suggests to Tsunade that Finbar might be a predator before leaving with food supplies. Finbar takes the bullet to Robert, asking for help protecting Moya from Curtis. But Robert brushes it off, reminding Finbar he's retired. So Finbar takes matters into his own hands. He tracks Curtis, offers him a ride, and they talk about guns and shooting. Finbar lures him into the woods under the pretense of showing him a special firearm. But before Finbar can act, Curtis resists, leading to a fight. Just then, Kevin shows up, sent by Robert to keep tabs on Finbar. Together, Finbar and Kevin overpower Curtis and bury him. Afterward, they head to a bar to unwind. Kevin admits he admires Finbar, even calling himself a fan. He brags that he kills when he needs money but will never reach Finbar's kill count. This angers Finbar, who sternly warns him that taking lives is not something to joke about. 2 days later, Curtis's sister Doran grows suspicious. She questions Tsunade about Curtis, but when Tsunade vents frustration, Doran snaps and grabs her by the neck. Checking Curtis's gun, she notices a missing bullet, deepening her worries. She later confronts Robert, who at first denies knowing Curtis. But when she notices a bullet on his floor that matches her gun, she forces the truth out of him. Robert confesses Curtis is dead and admits Finbar killed him. Enraged, Doran shoots Robert dead. After Robert's death, Josie tells Finbar and Kevin what happened. Alarm bells ring when she recalls a woman aggressively asking about Curtis. Realizing Doran is coming for them, Finbar urges Josie to call the police and burn any incriminating papers. Meanwhile, Doran tricks a shopkeeper into giving her Finbar's address by pretending Seamus is his nephew. They arrive at his house, where Sheriff Vincent spots them and grows suspicious. Inside Finbar's house, Doran snoops around and finds old war photos. Finbar and Kevin, returning home, notice the lights on and wisely wait nearby. The next morning, Doran vents her rage by vandalizing Finbar's car. Kevin almost shoots her but Finbar stops him. Soon after, Rita steps outside and Doran punches her unconscious for defending Finbar. Finbar rushes Rita inside and secretly calls for medical help. Later, Finbar discovers a newspaper about the Belfast bombing with Doran and her crew listed as suspects. He tracks their hideout, packed with explosives, and follows them to a football game. Conan panics when he sees their faces in the paper, urging escape, but Doran insists on revenge. At the match, Finbar follows Doran into a restroom, only to have her ambush him at gunpoint. He denies killing Curtis but offers to lead her to the real culprit. Doran agrees, warning him to bring the man to a bar meeting or she'll blow up the place. Finbar later tells Kevin about the deal, admitting he plans to kill Doran instead. Kevin is eager to help, but Finbar instead gives him a fat stack of cash and urges him to leave for California to start fresh. Touched, Kevin reluctantly agrees. That night at the bar, chaos unfolds. Conan sneaks in with a bomb, but Sheriff Vincent discovers it. Inside, Kevin suddenly interrupts, proudly declaring to Doran that he was the one who killed her brother. Furious, she shoots him in the stomach. As panic erupts, Kevin still manages to wound Doran, while Finbar kills Conan and later defeats Seamus before he can detonate the bomb. Bleeding out, Kevin urges Finbar to take the money and flee to California. But suddenly, Doran shoots Kevin dead. Enraged, Finbar hunts her down, killing Conan in the process. Their confrontation ends in a church, where Doran, mortally wounded, asks Finbar to finish her off as penance for their sins. Finbar obliges, acknowledging the burden they both carry. After she dies, he buries her in the woods and plants a tree over her grave. In the final scenes, Finbar approaches Rita, confessing his past and asking for forgiveness. She gently assures him that he owes no explanations. With that, Finbar thanks her and sets off, determined to finally start a new life.